Every few months, I disappear. I find a state campground, pick a site far from the families, and I spend the weekend reading, fishing, and not saying a single word to anyone. It's the only way I can truly reset. But last September, something found me first. I booked 3 nights at a campground deep in the Smokies, Tuesday through Thursday, midweek, off season. When I pulled in, the place was almost completely empty. 25 sites, maybe 3 occupied. I picked site 9. Flat ground, good shade, decent firing, quiet. Exactly what I came for. That's when I noticed the tent. Site 11, right next to me. Small, dark blue, 2-person. No car parked beside it. No gear outside. No boots by the door. Just the tent. Zipped shut. Still. I told myself it was nothing. People hike into campgrounds all the time. Maybe they parked somewhere else. Maybe a friend dropped them off. I built my fire, made dinner, read until the flames burned low, and went to sleep. Morning came. I stepped outside and looked over at Site 11. The tent was exactly the same. Zipped shut. No movement. No smoke from the firing. No smell of coffee. No sound of footsteps. Nothing. I spent the day out on the creek trail. Came back around 4. Same tent. Still zipped. Still nothing. That night, I watched it. Not on purpose at first, but it was right there, 25 feet away, sitting at the very edge of my firelight. I watched that tent for almost 2 hours. No shadow moving inside, no flashlight, no sound. Nothing moved. The second morning, I saw the chair. A folding camp chair, sitting in front of the tent at Site 11, facing my site, facing me. It had not been there the night before. I want to be very clear about that. I had stared at that tent for 2 hours by firelight. There was no chair. Someone had placed it there while I slept, positioned it deliberately so that whoever sat in it would have a perfect, unobstructed view of my campsite. I walked over, not to the tent, just close enough to look. The chair was old, faded brown fabric, aluminum frame. There was dew on the seat. It had been sitting out there for hours. The tent zipper was still closed. No sound from inside. I called out, "Hello?" Nothing. "Hey, everything okay in there?" Silence. The kind of silence that doesn't feel empty. The kind that feels occupied. I walked to the ranger station, a third of a mile down the road. I told the ranger on duty what I'd seen. The tent that had been there since I arrived. The zero signs of life. The chair that appeared overnight, aimed at my site. He pulled up his computer, looked at the screen, then looked at me. "Site 11 isn't registered to anyone." "There's a tent there," I said. He frowned. "That site's been closed since last month. Drainage issue. Nobody should be out there. Well, somebody is, and that chair didn't set itself up. He looked at me for a long moment. Then he picked up his radio. Two rangers walked back with me. They didn't stroll. They moved carefully, slowly, one behind the other. The second one stayed back near the truck. The lead ranger called out toward the tent. No answer. He crouched down, unzipped it. Empty. No sleeping bag, no pad, no gear, nothing. Just the bare floor of the tent. And sitting in the very center of it, a phone. An old flip phone. Prepaid. The kind you buy with cash at a gas station so nobody can trace it back to you. It was powered on. The screen was lit up, displaying a photo. The photo was of my campsite. Taken at night, taken from close. Close enough to show my tent, my fire ring, my folding chair, my book resting on the seat. Shot from the direction of Site 11 while I was sleeping. Someone had stood outside my tent in the dark and taken that photo. I left the phone behind like a message. I was here and you never even knew. The ranger closed the phone and bagged it. His whole demeanor had changed. Less casual, more focused. How long have you been here? Since Tuesday, 2 nights. And you never saw anyone near that site? Nobody in the trees? Not once. He told me they'd file a report. He suggested I move closer to the ranger station. He did not tell me I was overreacting. He did not say it was probably nothing. That part scared me most. I moved to Site 3 that same afternoon, packed everything in broad daylight while the rangers were still on site. Part of me just wanted to drive home and never look back. I should have listened to that part. That last night, sleep didn't come. I lay in my tent and I just listened. Around 1:30 in the morning, I heard an engine. Slow. No headlights. I could tell by the darkness through my tent walls. A vehicle rolling through the campground loop. It stopped somewhere close. The engine idled. 1 minute, maybe more. Then it drove away into the dark. At dawn, I walked back to Site 11. The tent was gone. The chair was gone. The site was bare. Just the fire ring, the gravel pad, and the wooden post with the number 11 on it. Like nothing had ever been there. Like I'd imagined all of it. I called the ranger station. They told me their staff hadn't removed anything. Nobody had. I haven't been back to those mountains since. I don't camp alone anymore. And every time I pull into a new campground now, the very first thing I do is look at the sites around me. Not for shade, not for noise, but for tents with no signs of life. Because whoever was in those trees that night knew exactly where I was sleeping. And I never saw them once. Not once.